Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Drive-Thru. I'm your host, Tony T, here as we broadcast here on Pig Dog's YouTube channel and throughout social media. We'll get you to the top of the hour. We want to give you enough time to get those bets in for the primetime games, and that's what we do here on the Drive-Thru Monday through Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time, as we give you live free sports picks for the primetime games and to deliver those winners are professional handicappers over at Pig Dogs and Sports Chat Place. Let's take a peek at who'll be on the show for today. We got Mitch on his Wednesday appearance. From Las Vegas, Nevada, Joe D'Amico and Shorr in here on Wednesdays, her Wednesday appearance as well. In the center square, Joe Duffy. Chris Ruffalo here will serve as co-host today. He'll host Thursday and Friday to take a couple of days off. Al McMordie, Big Al, is with us. Brad Francis makes his drive-through debut. You've seen the top of the leaderboards. Here he is. And Ron Romanelli joins us today. And this is how they're going to line up. We got Duffy, D'Amico, McMordie, Shorr, Romanelli, Francis, Ruffalo, Mitch, and then I will close this one out. All right, Chris, tomorrow the big day. You ready for it?
It's like I'm sitting here trying to figure out if I have to cut the red wire or the blue wire. I'm just trying to keep the sweat off my brow, but it's okay. We're getting more comfortable. We're getting more. We're accepting the role. So tomorrow will be a good time, I promise.
Tomorrow will be a good time, and of course we are streaming on Pig Dog. Sorry for those tech issues with YouTube yesterday. They're corrected now, as I can see that we are live on the stream. So with that great news, let's go ahead and let's get this show started. Let's welcome Joe Duffy to the show. You'll find him over at Pig Dog. We'll be taking a look at one of the big games from the National Hockey League for tonight. Joe, how's it going?
Going pretty well, and we're going to have a big night in a couple different sports.
Absolutely. All right, here we go. 9 Eastern Time, NBC Sports Network. Golden Knights to host the Canadians here. Golden Knights here, 275, total of 5.
Yeah, I think that Vegas could be a little bit fat and happy. First, remember, they came off of that mentally draining series against Colorado. To their credit, they didn't have a letdown. They played really well in Game 1. But look for Montreal to at least bounce back and keep this close. I like them plus the golden half. Look, Carey Price, we know that this guy's had some great playoffs before. He's having a great playoffs entering this series. And, of course, obviously, if you're in the conference finals, your team's playing well. So you're talking about a very hot team, but I do think, like I said, it's a really fairly tough spot for Vegas. Not that once you're in the conference finals that you're going to really have that much of a letdown. Still, we do see it in every single sport where they did get that big win coming off of the draining series, and I think this is a spot where Montreal could easily steal one, at the very least keep it close. I do use several simulators, as you know, and Sportsline is one of the better ones, especially when it comes to the NHL. They give us a 64% chance of covering the goal and a half. And, of course, these teams did play already in this series. But remember, they didn't play during the regular season, so they still don't know each other well. And when you're talking about uncertainty, to me, uncertainty from a value standpoint is always going to benefit the underdog. So I do think, at the very least, Montreal keeps it close. I thought about them on the money line, but definitely after running all the numbers, the better play is taking the goal and a half. So Montreal plus the goal and a half. W marks the center square.
All right, Joe Duffy here on Montreal Canadiens puck line. Take plus 1.5 goals to minus 120 against the Vegas Golden Knights. All right, Chris, looking at Montreal, they have won 4 of their past 5, holding their opponents in that period of 2 goals a game.
Yeah, and I think that this, I talked about this on our hockey videos yesterday. I'm going to stick with Montreal on the money line just because I think that if Montreal is going to get back into this series, it's got to start now. And, you know, you don't want to let Vegas push this series late because we talked about Pete DeBoer and his fantastic record in closeout games in Game 6s and 7s. You know, he just doesn't lose those games. So if Montreal wants any chance of winning the series, they got to start winning. So I'm taking Montreal on the money line tonight. I think Carey Price stands on his head and steals the game for the Canadiens.
All right, Chris likes Montreal Canadiens, and Joe Duffy here says take the puck line, take plus 1.5 goals, minus 120 against the Vegas Golden Knights, 9 Eastern Time, and this one airs on NBC Sports Network. All right, Joe, let's take a look over at Pig Dog's Pin. Big night tonight in the NBA. Couple games there. We got a good handful of games from Major League Baseball. What do you have going on over at Pig Dogs Premium?
Yeah, I really like 2 plays tonight. One in the NBA, one in Major League Baseball. And that's going to be a sweep tonight. And the NBA does have a really nice system that's been great to us over the years. Major League Baseball with several of our best metrics, all pointing towards the same side. So, yeah, 33 years full-time in this industry. Maybe it's 34 years. I can't even remember. But it's really 2 very strong plays for tonight, both in the NBA and Major League Baseball over at Pig Dogs.
All right, guys, get on board here with Joe Duffy over at Pig Dogs Premium. We got two big plays going right now, so picking them up. And of course, with those winnings, I always say make the upgraded long-term pass. Joe has a 3 and 7-day all-sports pass over at Pig Dogs Premium. You'll get every play that Joe releases over at Pig Dogs Premium for that period of time when you go to the profile page and you make the purchase. All right, Joe, as always, great having you show. Have yourself a great evening, and we'll talk with you. Well, Chris will talk with you in a couple of days.
All right, we shall do that, gentlemen.
All right, Joe Duffy here on the drive-thru. All right, let's continue on with the drive-thru. Now it's time to go over to steamy Las Vegas, Nevada. I know it's hot up there because had to replace an air conditioner for a tenant over there. Was not very happy sitting at 117 degree. The air conditioning cranked out, so I've been on the phone this morning trying to get that taken care of for him. But let's go ahead and welcome Joe D'Amico right now. He's also does fantastic work. I know he has a lot of tenants out there because he's been very successful throughout his career. Joe, how's it going?
Tony, it's great, but please understand, even though it's 117 right now in Vegas, it's a dry heat. I love when people say that, but it's a dry heat. Literally just a few minutes before airing the show, I took a walk over the mailbox. There's a mailbox for our development is about 60 feet from my house, and every step I took closer to the mailbox, it felt like I was in one of those movies, and I was getting further away from it. It as soon as you open the front door, you walk out, it feels like you got hit with a Joe Frazier left hook, and that's not good. But I will tell you, I love this time of year. There's so many great things happening here in Vegas. Vegas is opened up. We're at 100% capacity. We have concerts coming. It's just a great time. So I know I'm going to be seeing some of my co-panelists here on the Pig Dog Show out in Vegas very soon.
Absolutely. I got to make a trip up there in Las Vegas. I'm hoping around the All-Star break when it's July 10th is probably a good time to get out there. All right, Joe. Astros here to host the Rangers, minus 220. This game crushed me yesterday. I had the under this one. It was not good for me. All right, total sits here 8 p.m. Eastern Time, MLB Extra News Channel.
Well, sports fans, in a battle for the Lone Star State, one of the best American League teams host one of its worst. Guys, Houston is playing some very, very solid baseball right now. Their offense ranks number 1 in scoring, team batting average, OPS, not to mention they've already swatted 83 round trippers. They average more than a full run and a half a game than does the Sadsack Texas lineup. As a matter of fact, the Rangers rank near the bottom of the league in most offensive category. Today, Lyles and Greinke are scheduled to start. Both pitchers have fared well against these opposing lineups. So this game comes down to hitting. Sports fans, even if the Rangers were hitting, they still couldn't hit enough to compensate for their deplorable pitching. The Astros have taken 5 of the 8 meetings this season in this series. Guys, the Rangers are 5-20 the last 25 at Minute Maid Park. I'm going to take Houston on the run line, and I'm going to go to sleep on that and wake up a richer man.
All right, Joe, here's Houston run line here, minus 1.5 runs, minus 116 against the Texas Rangers. All right, what say you, Chris? We know the Rangers this miserable road team.
Miserable road team, miserable on offense, like Joe said. If I wanted to watch 9 guys struggle to score for 3 hours, I'd take a bunch of my friends to the bar. That's how bad this lineup is. And, I just think that Joe's right. This is a better hitting lineup for Houston, and I think they beat the snot out of the rain on the Astros as well.
All right, agreement here on the Astros. Run line, minus 1.5 runs, minus 116 against the Texas Rangers. This one, first pitch, 8 Eastern Time, MLB Extra News Channel. All right, Joe, let's take a look over at Pig Dog Premium. We're having a really good year in the NBA, nearly 500 units of profit. That is all documented. When you go over to Pig Dogs Premium, check out Joe D'Amico's profile page. That'll all add up there. All the picks are there, transparent for you. Tonight, we got a couple from the NBA, some baseball and a hockey game. What do you have going on over at the site?
Tony, very proud of the work I've done all season long in NBA here at Pig Dogs. But my baseball has heated up, guys. 5-0 the last 5, 8-1 my last 9, 30-11 run. Overall ranked number 2 on the Pig Dogs website, and I'm gunning for that number 1 spot, guys. Today I've got 2 MLB winners, my 20-7. That's right, 20-7 this season alone. My home run play, my 65% crusher. I've got both winners of both basketball games. The Hawks 76ers winner and my 61-21-2 Vegas Insider move. Guys, there's still time. There's a discounted program for the rest of the NBA. It's like $99. Pig Dogs was nice enough to support me and let me put that up. But I have a great discounted package for the rest of the MLB campaign. Guys, follow me now as I'm striding, and this will be the best baseball campaign you ever had.
All right, guys, get on board here with Joe D'Amico over at Pig Dogs Premium. See the numbers here in the NBA, but he is doing great work right now in Major League Baseball, so good time to get on board with Joe's one-day pass for Why don't you go ahead and get that 3, 7, or 30 All Sports Pass every play that Joe releases over at Pick Dogs Premium for the time period you choose. When you go over to his profile page and make that purchase, hey, the 2-for-1 capper promotion, why don't you add a second capper? Big Al McMordie, who's number 1 overall, James Carr smoking in the NBA, pick Joe D'Amico, and his Bash brother, Brian Biller, or Mitch, any one of them here on the 2-for-1 capper promotion. All right, Joe, as always, great having your show. Have yourself a great evening. Stay cool in Vegas, and we'll talk in a couple days.
Thank you, Tony. You'll be missed, but I'm going to have some fun with Chris at the end of the week. Everybody out there, good luck and have a winning day. Thank you.
All right, Joe D'Amico here on the drive. All right, let's continue on here, joined by Chris Ruffalo, who will host the show on Thursday and Fridays. I take a couple of days off. All right, let's just a reminder, guys, be sure to subscribe to our channel. Free picks every day. It all gets started with the morning show. You got Mitch, Ratzawacki, Brian Bitter. Ratzawacki a little bit on leave. He'll be back in a few, maybe a week or two when he recovers from his procedure. And of course, the YouTube member premium shows are great value. Just follow the link below for that. And of course, the drive-thru, we're here Monday through Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern time. But again, we always ask our audience out there, thumbs up those likes. Keep them coming in, Chris, because they really help us build our audience.
Absolutely, Tony, they do. I always say, I can never tell you guys enough. Those thumbs up really help us. It gets everything out the drive-thru. It gets the videos out. It gets the morning show out. It just, like I said, lets us know that you guys like what we're doing, and that's the big reasons to why we do everything. Without you guys, there is no Pick Dogs. So, like Tony said, keep those thumbs up, those likes coming in, because we really appreciate all the love and support. It helps us out a ton.
It absolutely does help us out. All right, let's continue now on the drive-thru. Let's welcome the number 1 documented handicapper over at Pick Dogs for 2021. It's Big Al McMordie. Big Al, how's it going?
Going well. How are you guys doing today?
Doing awesome. All right, here we go. 7:20 Eastern time. Braves host the Red Sox. The Braves, $1.46 total, 9.5.
Yeah, over the years, Atlanta's had a lot of success bringing up young pitchers, and there's no question that they are one of the better organizations over the long term. But many of the pitchers that they've brought up of late have not panned out. Guys come to mind like Lucas Sims, Mike Soroka, Sean Newcomb, Kyle Wright. But one guy who looks like he might be the real deal is tonight's pitcher, Ian Anderson. Last season, shortened by the pandemic, of course, he had 6 starts, but he had a 1.95 ERA and a 3-2 record in those 6 games. And 2021 is showing that 2020 was not a fluke. He's made 12 starts so far. He's thrown 66 in the 3rd innings, 4-3 record with a 3.26 ERA and a 1.18 WHIP. Last season, one of his starts was against these Boston Red Sox, and he struck out 8 Red Sox hitters over 6 innings and gave up just 2 runs in a 10-3 win. So I really like Ian Anderson, and it's true that Atlanta is not playing well this season. They're under 500. They're having a terrible week. But one of the things about the Braves, when you look at how they do when they're not playing well, they're 17-3 their last 20 if they've lost 4 of their previous 5 games. And going back even further in that same situation finds them 235 and 183 plus 43 games on the money line. So Atlanta tends to come out of these bad stretches relatively fast. Atlanta is also very good as a favorite, 78-49 when they're laying $1.50 or less, plus 18 games on the money line. Meanwhile, Boston's going to hand the ball to Garrett Richards tonight. And as an underdog, he's not done well in his career. He's done well as a favorite against the money line, not as an underdog. He's 15-30, minus 12 games on the money line in that situation. We're going to take the Atlanta Braves minus the price here.
All right, Big Al here is going to be on the Braves, minus 146 against the Boston Red Sox. All right, Chris, when you look at the Red Sox, boy, their pitching staff is getting a lot of runs in that series against Houston. You see a lot of 7, 8s, and 8s. Against the Blue Jays, the pitching staff gave up a 7 and 18. And then, of course, they opened up the series here against the Braves, gave up 8 runs. So their pitching staff has been giving up a lot of runs.
Yeah, and I think Garrett Richards is a big proponent of that. After going 4-0, now he's winless in his last 4 starts. I just think I was banging on with Ian Anderson. I like the way he's pitched. Threw 7 shutout innings last time out. I think he keeps that going with a win here. I like Atlanta.
All right, going to be here at Atlanta Braves, minus 146 against the Boston Red Sox. Our first pitch, 7:20 Eastern Time, MLB Extra Innings Channel. All right, now let's take a look over at Big Dogs tonight. Well, we got a big hockey game. We got a couple NBA and some baseball. Number 1 over at Pick Dogs Print for 2021. If you go up and check them out, nearly 4,400 units of profit, all documented, transparent there on his profile page. Al, what do you have going on over at Pick Dogs Premium?
Well, yesterday we cashed our NHL game of the week. Today we shift gears and look at an NBA play as our NBA game of the week. I love this situation. It's a great play for the season. 303 and 238 on all of our NBA and college basketball plays. That's the only thing I've got going on. I'm going to pass on hockey. I'm going to pass on baseball tonight. So don't miss my NBA game of the week. And of course, the best deal of all is to join for either 7 days or 30 days and to team me up with one of the other champion Pick Dogs handicappers on the 2-for-1 handicapper special.
All right, guys, get on board here with Big Al McMordie over at Pick Dogs. When you want to get that NBA play for tonight, you can also make it included in a long-term pass of 3, 7, and 30 all sports pass. Every play Al releases over at Pick Dogs Premium for that time period. Add a second capper for even greater savings. All right, Al, as always, great having you on the show. Continue that success. And you and Chris go mano a mano tomorrow.
Can't wait to talk to you tomorrow, Chris.
All right, Big Al McMordie here on the drive-thru. Let's continue on with our coverage. And now let's go over to, well, we got time to welcome in Ann Shorr. You'll find her over at Pick Dogs. We are loaded here on Wednesday. Good group here on Wednesday. Ann, how you doing today?
Hey, guys. Doing great. I'll tell you, if it was 117 in Jersey, we would all suffocate and die with our humidity. So I'm glad it's not that hot here.
Absolutely. Well, we're not so bad out here, approaching 100, but 20 degrees cooler, but still hot here, but in the 90s. All right, Jazz here to host the Clippers. Clippers here, boy, they're dealing with a Kawhi injury. Jazz here with Conley. The Jazz here laying 8, total 220.5.
I keep watching this line. Obviously, it's just going up because of Kawhi Leonard being out. I'm not really, people might think, people are probably going to start to fade that -8 because they're thinking like, oh, it's going up quite. Everybody's taking the Jazz. But reality, I just checked it a few minutes ago, and it's only just above 50% of the money is coming in on the Jazz. So it's like close to 55% right now. But this is, of all games postseason right now for Jazz, this is the time right now for them where they have to reclaim this series. And so what better way than to do it at home? The Clippers are 4-10 against the spread for their last conference semifinals. And we've seen this before with the Clippers with postseason games. They kind of fall apart. So that's what I'm hoping for tonight with them, getting 2 wins in a row. The Clippers are 8-22-1 against the spread for their last 31 meetings in Utah. You have Jazz 9-2 straight up the last 11 games at home. And then they're 4-0 against the spread for their last 4 games at home. So you have Jazz just lost 2 in a row. They started out great, but the reason it's like those last 2 games was just really bad defense on their end. And I followed Coach Snyder now since he coached 1 year as an assistant coach for the Sixers, and I'm a Sixers fan, so I've kind of always kept an eye on him and followed him for a little bit. And I just know this guy, like, he's going to do it. He's going to really clean up the defense for tonight, and because you just can't allow a 3rd loss in a row. I mean, this is a beatable series. This is a winnable series. The Clippers are a beatable team, and so I just think that's one thing that'll happen. The Clippers are at a big, severe disadvantage for not having Kawhi Leonard. So everyone, I feel like, is going to rely on like Paul George tonight, and he's just not their number 1 scorer. And so what are the Clippers going to do? They're going to have backup on George tonight, and I just don't see him getting as many points. This really could be a blowout game, but I wouldn't, like I said, I just think the Clippers are really going to step up I think the Jazz are going to really just step up their defensive game. I just don't see the Clippers doing that well tonight. So I'm definitely going to go with the Jazz. I feel comfortable with the -8. I think they're going to win by 10 or more. So I'll go with the Jazz.
All right, and Shorr here with the Utah Jazz laying here the 8 against the LA Clippers, 10 Eastern Time, TNT. Chris, you're looking at this Jazz team. It's Game 5 in an NBA series. It's 2-2. You don't take your foot off the gas here.
Yeah, absolutely. I think I have to look at the under here just because of the Kawhi Leonard injury. You look at the 4 games in the series, averaging over 27 points a game, 66 points combined in the 2 games in LA. That's going to be a lot for the Clippers to rip the Jazz. Just plug away and do enough defensively to keep this one under the number as well as get the win. So I'm on the under in this one.
All right, Chris is looking for under, and here on the Jazz, -8 against the LA Clippers. This one gets started here at 10 Eastern time, and you can watch this one over on, I want to believe it was the TT. Yes, it is. TNT will televise it. All right, and let's take a look over at Pig Dog Premium tonight. We got 2 NBA. We got a hockey as well as some Major League Baseball. We see here for the year over 1,000 units of profit. What do you have going on over at the site?
So we had a good win. I have a total up for sale tonight. I've been really liking the totals now for this next series game here. And so we hit our total last night. It was a big winner. And I'm, again, have another total on tonight that I love. So that's one game I have up there. Hop on that. 2-for-1 capper. You really can't go wrong with that. You see Al and I, he's number 1. I'm number 2 up on the leaderboard for the year. You can grab us both. There's Brad. He's new on the site. He's doing great. And you guys know, you see who's hot. Grab us. Definitely. I love that 2-for-1. So just tonight, I got that beautiful total you're going to want to get on. NBA stands for Numbers by Ann. That's what I call it.
Absolutely. The numbers by Ann. You see the numbers here, 1,022 units of profit for 2021. That is all documented. So if you go to Pig Dogs Premium, you can add it all up. All the plays there are transparent for you to check them out. So you got her play tonight over at Pig Dogs Premium. Get that one-night pass. Or if you want, get the long-term pass from Ann, 3, 7, and 30-day all-sports pass. Every play that Ann releases over at the site for that period of time. And, of course, you choose when you go over to her profile page and you make that purchase at a second capper at a reduced rate, even better value. All right, Ann, as always, great having you show. Continue that success, and we'll talk to you a little bit when we do this recap.
You got it. Thanks, guys. I'll see you later.
All right, Ann Shorr here on the drive-thru. All right, let's continue on here with the show. And now it's time to welcome Ron Romanelli. You'll find him over at Pig Dogs. He's also part of the weekend crew over at Pig Dogs Premium. A big Islanders fan, and of course they came through for him in the previous series. And let's get Ron over right now. Ron, how's it going?
Hey Tony, how you doing?
Doing great, doing great. All right, here we go. Mets to host the Cubs tonight, 7 Eastern time. Mets are big favorites, approaching -3 here, -$3, total 6.5.
Yeah, this is as lopsided as a matchup you're going to find in the MLB. You know, although both starters have been clocked in at over 100 miles per hour before, the Mets have a major advantage. The best pitcher in my generation is on the mound tonight, Jacob deGrom, who has had MVP-type numbers thus far. deGrom has a .56 ERA through 64 innings. I just think that's absurd. And he also has a .93 FIP. He almost has 14.5 strikeouts per 9 innings. Just an unbelievable start to the year for deGrom. He doesn't always get the run support from the Mets. It's always the typical, Mets deGrom losing the game even though he pitches lights out. But I think in this game, the Mets are going to find offense early on. You see Robert Stock on the mound for the Cubs. He was called up from the minors. He's been a career minor league pitcher. He throws gas. He's thrown over 101 miles per hour before in the minors, but he still has command and control issues. He's 31 years old. So he has seen Major League play before, but I just don't think he's an MLB quality starter at this point in his career. So, it's never fun laying the run line with the home team, but like Tony said, -300 odds right now. It's just out of the question. So I see the Mets winning this game very comfortably with deGrom on the mound. I think he gives the Mets another quality start. So I'm going to lay the 1.5 with the Mets at home.
All right, Ron Romanelli here. Mets run line -1.5 runs, -125 against the Cubs. All right, Chris, these Cubs that, they go through streaks where they just don't hit. Right now they're hitting 190 past 7 games.
Yeah, and I had to follow Ron's lead on the analytics. I looked at the Cubs for this game. Top 10 in league in whiff rate, 27% whiff rate this season, as well as the top weak contact rate in the league, hitting over 6% in that category, which is pretty bad. So I think there's going to be a ton of swinging and missing against deGrom tonight. And like Ron said, I just don't trust Robert Stock as far as I can throw him. So I'm on the Mets on the run line as well.
Mets run line -1.5 runs, -125 against the Cubs. If you got runners in scoring position, you can't make contact, you can't bring them home. That's the play here from Ron Romanelli here on the Mets run line. And this one will start 7 Eastern time, MLB Extra News channel. All right, Ron, let's take a look over at Pig Dogs. Well, tonight we got a couple from the NBA. Of course, past 30 days showing a profit here. NBA, we got a hockey game up there as well as baseball. What do you have going on over at Pig Dogs Premium?
Yeah. Lately, I'm seeing the board pretty well, and I feel more confident each and every day in the MLB, especially as the statistics carry a lot more weight as we got this far into the season, about 65 games for each team. So grab one of my long-term plans. It's going to get you the most of my picks at the best price available, and let's make this a winning summer in baseball.
That's right. Winning summer in baseball with Ron Romanelli over at Pig Dogs. We're going to be showing a profit here the past 30 days. Get on board with this place for a night or make that long-term pass. He's got a 30-day all-sports pass. Every play that Ron releases over at Pig Dogs Sprint for that 30 days is yours when you make that purchase over at the profile page. All right, Ron, as always, great to have you on the show. Continue that success, and we'll talk to you next week. But we'll tune in on the weekends as you're part of the crew with Mitch and Brian Bittler Saturday and Sunday at 10:30 a.m.
Yep, love those shows, and I'll see you guys on the weekends.
All right, Ron Romanelli here on the drive-thru. Let's continue on here. Joined here with Chris Ruffalo, who will. Chris, what do you have going on over at the side? I know you're doing your hockey videos as well as the soccer with Goran.
Yeah, Tony, you summed it up. We got the hockey videos. Right now it's myself and Tony Brown. And on days where I can't go with Tony, I try to get a fill-in, or sometimes I just go solo. And you got myself and Goran doing the Euro videos. I can tell you, people have made a ton of money following those Euro videos, at least for myself or Goran, or even on the place where we both agree. And I can tell you that a lot of money's been made. A lot of money was made today with Italy and Russia. So definitely go check those out, guys. There's a playlist for the Euro videos at the bottom of the page. Same thing for the hockey. There's tons of money to be made in those sports as well.
Absolutely, guys. We'll continue on to drive through, guys. Keep those thumbs up, those likes coming in. We greatly appreciate it. At the end of the show, we'll do a complete recap of all the plays if you missed any. All right, let's continue on here on the drive-thru. Making his debut on the drive-thru, Brad Francis. You've been seeing him top of leaderboards over at Pig Dogs. Brad, how's it going?
I'm doing good, man. Excited to be on the show. I've been a big fan of both you guys, and I'm ready to give the people some winners here.
All right, let's get the winners in. All right, here we go tonight, 9:45 Eastern Time, MLB Extra News Channel. Giants to host the D-backs. Boy, it's been rough here for the D-backs here. Giants $1.70 here, total of 8.
Yeah, I'm loving this under 8 here. Last night was a crazy game between these two teams. The bats did come alive, but personally, I think that was a fluke. Other than last night, the Giants' bats have been ice cold. The last series, the Giants played a 4-game series against the Nationals, and the Giants only scored 3 runs in the whole series. When it comes to the pitching matchup here, we got Anthony DeSclafani versus Merrill Kelly. DeSclafani has been the best pitcher for the Giants this season and owns a 2.7 ERA in his career against the Diamondbacks. And DeSclafani's last 4 games, he allowed a total of 4 runs and only 11 hits. So he's just absolutely on fire right now. I don't see the Diamondbacks scoring much here. And on the other side, we do have Merrill Kelly, who has been rocked this year at times, but has always played well against the Giants. He played the Giants this year and only allowed 2 runs in that game. And Kelly also has a 2.57 ERA in 5 career meetings against the Giants. The Giants bullpen has also been playing great. They're ranking first in WHIP and 4th in ERA in the last 15 days in the whole league. Some trends we got here: the under's 5-1-1 in the last 7 meetings these teams play together. The under is 8-2 in the last 10 meetings in San Francisco, and the under is 6-0 in the last 6 games played against the Giants played against a right-hand starter. So a lot of trends are leading up to this under. I'm definitely loving this under, especially in this pitcher-friendly ballpark. I could see a 3-1 or 4-2 type game. So give me that under 8 all day.
All right, Brad Francis here on the Diamondbacks and Giants under total of 8. All right, Chris, what say you in this one? We're seeing Kelly and DeSclafani have had success against the teams they're facing this year.
Absolutely. First, I want to say welcome to Brad. It's finally good to have him on the drive-thru. But as far as tonight goes, I'm looking at the Giants. I think last night was just another fire of the Diamondbacks on the road, and I think it's rinse and repeat tonight. I got to take the Giants in this one.
All right, looking at the Giants here, and of course, Brad will be on D-backs and Giants under total of 8 runs. This one with a start time 9:45 Eastern Time, MLB Extra News Channel. All right, Brad, let's take a look over at Pig Dogs Pim tonight. Well, we got 2 from the NBA up there. Of course, we've got a baseball and hockey game. Past 30 days, 971 units of profit. That is all documented. If you go over to Pig Dogs Pim, you can verify that because all the plays are transparent there for you to see. What do you have going on over at Pig Dogs Premium?
Yeah, so today I got my 5-star NBA premium pick, super confident about it. And then I got my Wednesday Whack Your Bookie 3-pack, and that actually includes my 5-star NBA premium pick, as well as a NHL pick and another NBA pick for only $30. It's great value. If you're looking for a consistent handicapper, a lot of handicappers, man, they go on crazy heaters and then crazy freezers. It's just back and forth. I like to take pride in just being consistent and winning long term. So, I think it'd be smart to get one of my long term packages, or get that 2-for-1 capper deal. McMordie, absolute beast, and Shorr, Ron Romanelli. We're ready to give you guys some winners.
That's right. Get winners here from Brad Francis over at Pig Dogs Room. You see the numbers here: 971 units of profit past 3 days, all documented. Get on board with this 1 day pass tonight, or better yet, get the long-term pass, 3/7/30 all sports pass. Every play that Brad releases over at Pig Dogs Room for that time period you choose when you go to his profile page and make that purchase. At a second capper, even at a reduced rate, like Big Al, who's number 1 year to date. James Clark cranking in the NBA, and Shorr number 2 year to date over at the Pig Dogs Premium. All right, Brad, welcome aboard. Great having you on the show, and you'll be on tomorrow, one-on-one with Chris.
Yes, sir. I'm excited, Chris. Let's do it.
All right, Brad. Welcome to Big Dogs Drive-Thru Show here. All right, that was Brad Francis. Let's continue on here on the Drive-Thru. Now it's time to welcome. Well, it's Chris. It's your game. Here we go. So now it's time to pull up the game information. You'll be looking at this Yankees and Blue Jays game. They had a pretty good game last night, as they both pitchers got hit. Let's go ahead and bring up the game information right now, as this game will begin at the top of the hour. And I think we're ready for it right now. Here we go. It's the Blue Jays hosting the Yankees. Blue at 7 Eastern time. MLB Extra Innings channel will televise it. Yankees $1.60, total of 8.5.
Yeah, it wasn't that long ago where, betting an under with Garrett Cole on the mound was almost a sure thing. It was almost, better's peril to bet against. 8-3 to the under his first 11 starts with a 1.78 ERA. But then, Garrett Cole actually took a bit of a downturn. He gave up 5 runs in 5 frames to the Rays earlier this. Gave 2 solo home runs to the Twins on June 9th. And, the Yankees 8-2 to the over since that start back on June 3rd. And, the Blue Jays, well, I can tell you from watching this team, the runs just keep coming for Toronto. 5 runs in 4 of their last 5 games, 3-2 to the over in that stretch. But, with Cole kind of having his issues and Ross Stripling on the mound, who has pitched better lately, but still, one of the more inconsistent pitchers in the league, I've got to look at the over here. I think that, we're going to see some runs from both sides, even with the Yankees struggling this season compared to the expectations that were set out for them at the beginning of the year. And, the Blue Jays just ability to hit the ball right now, led by, Vlad Guerrero Jr. and Bo Bichette. I think we got some fireworks in store tonight at Salem Field.
All right, Chris here on the over here, Blue Jays and Yankees over 8.5. I can't argue that. The ballpark gives up a lot of runs. Toronto scores runs there. We look over the past 7 games. Toronto hitting about 295, and the Yankees hitting 286. And I agree with you there. Over total of 8.5 runs. We'll get a start time in this one. 7. Actually, this one will begin here at 7 Eastern time over on MLB Extra Innings channel. All right, Chris. Let's take a look over at Pig Dogs Prim, where we've got actually 2 NBA games, 2 big ones. You're showing here 430 units of profit the past 7 days. We got a hockey game up there as well, some baseball. What do you have going on over at the site?
It takes the bad days to appreciate the good ones. We had a consistent week hitting a speed bump last night, but that's fine. We get back on track for my favorite day of the week, Whale Bet Wednesday. Got a 3-pack up on the website tonight. 2 of my favorite, biggest and best bets from the MLB tonight, as well as my top play from the NBA. Got that for $29.95. Or guys, check out those 3-day, 7-day, and 30-day passes. Like you can see from the numbers down there, within the first couple of days, that package paid for itself. So definitely check one of those out. Still got those season and playoff passes up there for $325 and my NBA for $150 for the last couple rounds, as well as the 2-for-1 capper deal. That's one of the best deals you'll find on the website. Pair me up with anyone you've seen on the show. Brad making his debut. Big Al is number 1 in the on the year. Pair me up with Tony as the host duo, James Clark number 1 in the NBA, and Mitch. Anybody, you can pair us up together. 2 great cappers for one price. Like I said, if you've never been with us before, you get a chance to test drive 2 cappers and see if you like one of us or both of us, or you just pick the cappers that you've got along with up to this point. So definitely check that out. There's tons of possibilities for you guys to pick dogs. Go and check it out.
All right, guys, got on board here with Chris Ruffalo over at Pig Dogs Premium. He's got his plays up for tonight. Of course, you see the numbers here. 430 units of profit the past 7 days, all documented. So go over to the site and check it out. You can see every play that he's released when you go over to his profile page and match them up with a 2-for-1 capper promotion, the best value there at Pig Dogs promotion over at Pig Dogs Premium. You got a 3, 7, and 30 all sports pass. Every play, both cappers released for that period of time All right, let's continue on here on the drive-thru here, joined by Chris Ruffalo. Guys, keep those those subs up coming in. We're going to do a recap at the end of the show to give you all the plays if you missed any of them. All right, now it's time to welcome Mitch to the show. Mitch is over at Pig Dogs Premium. He's also part of the morning crew every day at 10:30 a.m. Eastern time. Let's bring him in now. Mitch, how's it going?
It's going. For some reason, I can't get my camera hooked in. I tried to get out of the studio for this show, but, well, hopefully you guys can hear me okay.
We can hear you okay, and we're streaming okay, so we're doing everything. We got all the check marks today. All right, Mitch, we got the Indians here to host the Orioles, and the Indians here are laying $1.52, total 7.5.
Yeah, we got a real crap schedule for tonight. I think, most of us have premium picks on most of the games out there, so just not a lot of places to go. I think, like what I've been talking about with our VIP people and with our premium members, maybe just a little bit too many picks we're given these days as far as, the premium and the VIP. So it just doesn't leave a lot of meat on the bone. Savali is a guy that, he's a good pitcher. His record probably not indicative of his actual performance. Guy that Romanelli sometimes will swing his stats a little too far in the wrong direction, because the guy's not as good as his win-loss record or something. But still, he's just one of those guys, and we see these guys every few years where they just always seem to get the support when they need it, and then when they pitch well and don't need the support, they don't get all that much support. They kind of just get enough to get it done. I think Savali is just one of those guys. The Orioles just not a team we can trust at this point. Certainly improved over what we've seen in recent years, but not improved enough to trust them against a team like the Indians. I think the Orioles can win against some of the winnable games, the beatable teams, but they're not ready to beat, a team like the Indians here.
Yeah, all right, Mitch here on the Indians, minus 152 against the Orioles. Yeah, I watched that game yesterday with the Orioles. They're just really struggling. Although I will keep an eye on them when they're facing left-handed pitchers. They seem to hit the ball well, but that might be a situation where you might look at an over with the Orioles. But in this spot here, the Indians minus 152. Chris.
Yeah, I'm taking the Indians as well. I thought Aaron Savali's numbers were inflated, but when you're facing teams like the Orioles, it doesn't matter. You're still 9-2, and I still got to take the Indians here. I think Savali gets to win number 10.
Absolutely great. Here on the Indians, minus 152. And, of course, this game will begin at top of the hour on MLB Extra News Channel. Hey, Mitch, what do you have going on over at Pick Dogs Premium tonight?
Well, I got I'm wearing the brand new Pick Dogs Flex Fit hats. These are available over at Pick Dogs. Just click on the banner for the gear, and you can get these right on the website. I don't know how much they are. I don't pay for them, but, we have them, and I really like them. I like the Flex Fit style. I wear them when I play golf. So grab one of these Flex Fit hats, super comfortable. And I know people that have got them are really happy with them. Normally I wear the trucker style on the show, but I just got these Flex Fit, so I just figured what the hell, I'd throw it on. But anyways, I got a few baseball games for tonight and just kind of going through the motions. It's a light card and for the evening. So I have light picks. Wouldn't call it my strongest 3-pack I've ever put out, that's for sure. But confident enough that I'm betting them for whatever that's worth.
Absolutely,
just
of course.
Being honest.
Absolutely, and of course that YouTube Premium, the link below, Mitch. That's a really good value up there for everyone. I know you're kind of, we're getting close to football season. We're still in baseball season. So, how's that working out?
Well, we're trying to figure it out. It's like it's been a work in progress since February. Originally we had a $30 YouTube and then a $50 where it was that we had an early and a late show. Now you get the early and the late, or you get the early, late, and the VIP show. But I think what we're finding is that on days like today and in general, it's too many picks. I'm not one of these handicappers that gives out 10 picks a day. I mean, if there's a 70-game college basketball schedule, 120-game college basketball schedule, and a 60-game college football schedule, yeah, I could come up with some picks. But, I think at this point, a little bit of overkill. And I think that, what happens some days, it's just basically the VIP show just turns into an argument among the 3 co-hosts on the show. We just sit there and argue with each other for 25 minutes. And it's like, sometimes, people get a little sore or whatever. And so, whatever. Anyways, we wish Rod Zawacki well. He's recovering from his surgery, and he will be back hopefully in the next week or so. We're not exactly sure. We don't have a firm timetable on it, just however long it takes. Kind of like people ask me, Chris can tell me, the writers, how long should the article be? As long as it takes. And same thing with Rod and his recovery, as long as it takes. And we'll have Chris Ruffalo will be sitting in for Rod on Friday. Chris the Ball Hog Ruffalo, we'll call him.
Doing double duty. Friday he'll be
The
doing
only
double
one
duty.
more than double duty. Plus he's doing the videos or whatever. He's on more than us. I mean, he's the Ball Hog.
That's right.
What can I say? I love it. What can I say? I love it.
Oh my goodness, double duty.
Doing soccer videos. The Goran's not good enough for soccer. I got to do that. I got to do hockey, the drive-through, the morning show. Tony's not here. I'm good. More Ruffalo for me.
More Ruffalo Thursday and Friday. That's right. I'm off Thursday and Friday. Chris will fill in. Mitch will be on standby. Chris is going solo. Yes, well, that's what he told us. He has told us shit. He'll be a co-host or not tomorrow.
First time. Well, I'll tell you what. Brad Francis, his first performance on the show, knocked it out of the park, right? Yes, I mean, I got to say that Pick Dogs Cappers, you never know what you're going to expect the first time you see them on the air. Of course, we knew Brad had experience on the air, so we knew he was going to be a home run. But it's like, I wouldn't, people say, oh man, you lucked out with this guy, lucked out. We don't luck out. Believe me, I probably get 100 people a month that want to be handicappers on the website. And it's like, we're going to have more contests and things like that. I'm working with a group on a major partnership deal behind the scenes. And hopefully we have this up and ready in next, I don't know how long it's going to take, but I promise you guys, I'm going to say this, and I'm not just blowing smoke or anything or saying whatever. I promise you that some of the other sites that you have used for the last 10 years or more, the ones that I use, you will no longer be going to those sites for that stuff, because we have the Rolls Royce of products and stats. It's the ones that the books use. It's the ones that, these are the ones that they have never done what's called B2C, business to customer, ever. So they've chosen us as the partner for this. I don't know. I think they like my attitude. It's something like that. They like that I don't like anybody else. And they're ready to roll with us. I'm really excited. They're going to be taking over a lot of the text things overall at Pick Dogs and at Sports Chat Place. Probably taking over. It's going to be a process. But these guys, like the Squares contest for DraftKings, those guys, if you ever heard of them, DraftKings, they ran the Squares contest for DraftKings. So these are the guys who are going to be running our Squares contest. Right? They don't do it for any of the other websites or anything like that. They work only with they have 4 customers total. Barstool Sportsbook, DraftKings, I believe Bet Rivers, and I think the Lakers, something like that. So it's, and us. So
yeah, you showed me you gave me a peek on a text a few days ago. It was pretty impressive.
Yeah, it's stuff that most people have never seen before, as far as it's basically what other people are offering, but just beyond, like how some places have 10 trends per game or whatever. We got 9,000, and it's different ways to sort through it. Last 5 games, 10 games, 20 games versus opponent this year, last year, last 5 years, last 10 years, any way you want to slice it. Prop bets, trends, anything. And that's just one tiny little piece of the offerings that we're going to have. I'm really, really excited about it. And it's because I think it takes us from beyond just a sports picking site and sports, in that nature. And it brings us to, really just a whole nother level where it's we become tools and, the games and all those other things that some of the other competitors, Tony and I are a little different than most of the people out there. A lot of the guys out there, and, I can't mention any names because they have, really expensive lawyers, but, they go out, they raise some money, they bought a couple smaller, okay things, threw them together, and then packaged them off to sell them, and they're all patting each other on the back about how great they are and about how awesome they are. But the thing is that what that has done is lit a fire in a lot of other people like myself and say, hey man, if those guys can do that, imagine what we can do. So it's that, and that's what these partners of mine are.
All right, Mitch, back here. I think we might. We got you back. A little lag. All right, Mitch. We got you.
Yeah,
back.
like I said, I'm just really excited for everyone to see it and to show it off, and it's really exciting stuff. It's the biggest thing we've ever done.
Looking forward to the launch. Okay, all right, Mitch. It's always great having your show.
Probably 5 weeks away right now.
5 weeks away, just in time, just around preseason football. All right.
Yeah, we wanted to do something quick, but I'd rather do it right.
Yeah, get it right, no doubt. All right, Mitch, have yourself a great evening, and we'll talk with you here on the show next week.
Aloha. We'll see you Friday, Ruffalo.
All right, Ruffalo serving double duty.
Friday. I'm looking forward to it.
Looking forward to that, no doubt. Don't forget, Ruffalo Chris will be hosting the drive-through Thursday and Fridays. They take a couple days off, and we don't know if he'll be solo or if he'll have a co-host, but you got to tune in tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern Time as Chris Ruffalo has the reins here on the drive-through.
The fire extinguisher is on standby.
And Mitch is on standby, by the way. He is not going to be golfing tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. He'll be missing his golf on those days. All right, let's continue on here on the drive-through. Now it's time for my pick, as I got over that under not cashing in that Rangers and Astros game yesterday, which really frosted me a little bit. All right, let's take a look at the game for tonight. We were going to look at the 76ers and the Hawks. 76ers laying 7.5, total 224.5. And, well, on this game, I'm going to be here on the underdog in this pesky Hawks team. Look, plus 7.5. I'm going to take it. Now, we know the concern here is the health of Joel Embiid. We know he's got that partial tear in his meniscus. You know that he's a game-time decision here. Actually, he moved up. He's now questionable. As we get deep, as we talked about earlier, as we got deep into this series, the concern will be greater and greater on the 76ers center, who admitted to not have the ability to perform at his best down the stretch of that Game 4, where he just went 0 of 12 from the field. And Atlanta, they do have a win on the 76ers home court, so they do have some confidence there. I know it was a little, a chaos there at the end of that Game 1 win, but they got the job done. They did win 2 of 3 in New York, and they did get a critical Game 5 win there in New York as well. I'd rather take over 2 possessions here, considering the health of Embiid. I think Game 5 can be a little tight here. I'm looking at Atlanta plus the 7.5, Chris.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie to you, Tony. I have a premium on the side of the total. I'm really liking the under here. I just think that, Atlanta, they have confidence now after, stifling Philly and holding that last possession. And, if Philly wants to take this series, and try to preserve the health of Joel Embiid, they can't afford to trade 2s for 3s and let Atlanta that. I think that you're going to see a bunch of defensive intensity tonight on both sides. And, I just think that they're going the Sixers are going to have to do whatever they have to do. A, to preserve Joel Embiid, he's going to have to go longer. And B, try to do what they can to suffocate the Nets. The Hawks, excuse me. So I'm looking at the under here. I think this game could sit around 210, but up in the 220, it's just a bit too much. All
right, Chris here looking at the under, and I'm looking here at the Hawks plus 7.5 against the Philadelphia 76ers. And, of course, this will be the game 1 of the doubleheader, 7:30 Eastern Time on TNT. All right, guys, over at Pick Dogs Premium. I have a 3-pack. I've got NBA and baseball in a 3-pack, so go ahead and check me out over at Pick Dogs Premium. I'm also part of the 2-for-1 capper promotion, so you can match me up with another capper. You can match me up with Chris Ruffalo, with Mitch, Big Al, James Clark, who's tearing up in the NBA, Brad Francis, who's doing fantastic work. 2-for-1 capper promotion I'm part of, so check me out over at Pick Dogs Premium. All right, let's continue on here with the show. Now it's time to do a show recap all the plays, and Shorr will join us for this segment, as she does on Wednesday. We started with Joe Duffy, Montreal Canadiens, the puck line, plus 1.5 goals. Minus 120 against the Golden Knights. Joe D'Amico, Astros run line, minus 1.5 runs. Minus 116 against the Rangers. Al McMordie, Braves, minus 146 against the Red Sox. And was on the Jazz, lane 8 against the Clippers. Ron Romanelli, Mets run line, minus 1.5 runs. Minus 125 against the Cubs. Brad Francis on his debut here on the drive-through. D-backs, Giants under 8. Chris was on Blue Jays, Yankees over 8.5. Mitch was on Indians minus 152 against the Orioles. Yours truly, Hawks plus 7.5 against the 76ers. And we'll start with Chris. Other than your pick, which one do you like the best?
Well, I still want me to have me over when I go to Vegas. So I'm going to stick with Joe D'Amico and that Astros run line. I think they beat the hell out of the Rangers tonight.
All right, look at that pounding there. All right, and other than your pick, which one do you like the best?
It's parlay everything. No. I'm gonna go with Brad's pick. That game went over. It was really over last night with the pitching change-up tonight. It's gonna stay under. I think it will just stay at like 7-8 tonight. It's a good one.
All right. I'll go in there. I'm going to go with Chris's play here. Blue Jays, Yankees, over 8.5. These are two lineups that are hitting, two bullpens that have been giving up some runs here, and that ballpark plays into it as well. All right, that'll do it for this edition of the Drive-Thru, guys. We're back at it again at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. And don't forget, it all gets started with the morning show at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time. We got Mitch and Brian Bittler in there to get us started on Thursday. And, of course, we got those YouTube premium shows. Check the link below for that. And, of course, the Drive-Thru. I'm taking the next couple days off. And Chris Ruffalo will serve as the host on Thursday and Friday, so be sure to tune in. He'll be ready to roll here with his guest here on the Drive-Thru. Let's bring in the crew from tonight. Wave it off a nice good night. Have yourself a great night. And we'll talk to, and Chris will be the host.